Duelist Alliance was released on August 15th, 2014, and this set changed everything. Not only did Duelist Alliance introduce a new summoning mechanic in pendulum summoning, it also brought forth 3 tier 1 archetypes at release, a tier 2 archetype in Yang Zing, a fun casual deck in Ultra Athletes, as well as several generic support cards including Felis, Lightsworn Archer, Time Space Trap Hole, the Monarch Stormforth, Artifact Lancia, and Castel, the Sky Blaster Musketeer. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content.
Oh, it feels so good to be out of the shirt of shame. I'd been wearing it for so long, I actually had to turn it over to the CDC for dry cleaning. Anyway, today we're playing Yang Zing. Now, the big 3 decks that emerged in Duelist Alliance were, obviously, Burning Abyss, Shadow, and Satellar Knight, but they were not the only decks that emerged. Yang Zing was also around. This deck saw a lot less representation at the top level, and it's not difficult to see why. A lot can go wrong with this strategy, which we will get into momentarily. But first, let me explain exactly what the Yang Zings are. You may be familiar with these if you've been playing Master Duel. Occasionally they show up in Sword Soul brews, most notably Baxia, but they're actually an archetype of main deck monsters that span all the different attributes. They all have a similar effect. When they are destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon a Yang Zing monster from your deck. Let me read that for you one more time. When this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon a Yang Zing monster from your deck in attack position. These were a series of recruiters that recruited every single card in your deck and could miss timing. This made them monstrous to attempt to play. So much in this game accidentally causes the Yang Zings not to trigger, and boy oh boy was it the end of your tournament run if you found out it wasn't working at the wrong time. That said, the deck is very consistent. It is able to get all of its monsters off in the face of an opponent's deck that just aims to attack for lethal, and as a result can put up really impressive boards. It's basically carried by a couple of particular cards, most notably Soul Charge, that allow it to go into Baxia Brightness of the Yang Zing. Now, if you've played Sword Soul and Master Duel, you know that this card's extremely powerful, but it gets a lot better when you're quick synchroing into it using the effects of your main deck Yang Zing monsters, each of which is sort of a formula synchron. This card, on Synchro Summon, can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of original attributes of worm monsters used for its Synchro Summon and shuffle them into the deck. This is an exceptionally powerful effect, especially when opponents during this period were playing cards like, oh, I don't know, the Shaddolls and the Burning Abyss. Tucking those suckers back into the extra is about the best you could hope for, rather than having to deal with the Seer Dante loop the entire game. That said, this deck also has a lot of downsides. You aren't really able to put more than one Yang Zing on the field per turn for the first couple of turns. T-setting and passing isn't really as powerful as it was in, say, 2011, and there's a lot of ways that clever opponents can ensure that even if you set a powerful Yang Zing monster, you're not going to be able to resolve the effect. As a result, frequently the deck would live and die off of this card, Yang Zing Creation, which allowed one Yang Zing float to turn into 2, a number that could actually accomplish something eventually. As stated earlier, Soul Charge is kind of the heart and soul of this deck. It's only by special summoning a bunch of Yang Zings you've already been through that you can even attempt a Baxia most of the time, and of course, any of your plays that actually accomplish anything are going to have to go through that. It's counterintuitive to say this, but the deck's other weakness is that it was bricky. Yes, every Yang Zing represents every other Yang Zing, but occasionally you didn't draw any Yang Zings, and because none of them have any offensive pressure whatsoever, if your opponent was able to capitalize on even a single turn of you not having enough, well, it was only a couple of Dantes to get you down to lethal. Cards like Yang Zing Path were incredible when you were already ahead. That said, we're going to try and represent Yang Zings as best we can. We've scrubbed a top 16 list from Michael Sanders during a YGO Open event. If you're unfamiliar with these, like the ARG Circuit Series, they were a series of third-party unofficial Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, this time hosted by TCG Player. Unfortunately, they flamed out a lot earlier than the ARGCS did, but not before giving us some gems like this. We've got 3 BN Earth of the Yangzing. Yes, they all have the effect to summon a Yangzing from your deck, and yes, they all have the quick synchro effect, but they also have an effect where if you use any of these individual monsters as synchro material, then they get a little bonus. BN's is the monster can't be destroyed by battle. Bixie's is that the monster can't be affected by trap cards. Pualo is that I believe it can't be affected by spell effects. And Swanee is that it gains 500 attack and defense. Outside of those Yangzings, we're also playing 3 Chiwen. This is the tuner of the archetype, the only tuner, and for that reason is a walking target. Like the rest of them, it does float, but unlike the rest of them, if a Yangzing you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon it back, but banish it when it leaves the field. Finally, in the monster lineup, we're playing 2 Masked Chameleon. This is a very strange card to include. The idea is you can normal summon it, summon a Suwani from the graveyard, and get into Baxia, but it's actually got a lot of restrictions on it. It can be normal summoned if you control a level 5 or higher monster, which means you can't be winning by the time you draw this card. If you use its effect to summon from the graveyard, you can't actually special summon monsters unless they are explicitly from the extra deck the turn that you activate that effect, and as a result, it's mostly used as a card you can summon off of Soul Charge after it gets into your graveyard and put up some synchro bosses for a series of monsters that otherwise lack a tuner not named Chiwen. After that, we've got a Book of Moon, a Dark Hole, a Mind Control, triple Mystical Space Typhoon, double Pot of Duality, triple Soul Charge, thank the Lord, 2 Yangzing Path, 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device. Because all of these are recruiters, skill drain is decent. 1 Solemn Warning, double Time Space Trap Hole, got Dante's name on it, 1 Torrential Tribute, and 3 Yangzing Creation. In the side, we've got 2 DD Crow, 2 Maxi, 2 Soul Release, triple Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell, double Needle Sealing, double Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, and double Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. The extra is a bunch of very powerful synchros, but notably Baxia Brightness of the Yangzing, Mistbird Clasolus, which you actually unironically go into because of the way the stars line up, Samsara Dragon of Rebirth for a similar reason, and the only rank 4 Castel the Skyblasker Musketeer. Now, if you're only playing one, that's a pretty good one. So with that, I'll send you off to Simo.
All right, so last episode with the Shadals may not have gone as hot as we would have liked it to, but now we are back at home playing one of my favorite decks from this format, Burning Abyss. God, does this bring back memories. Now, a lot of you who may be familiar with modern Burning Abyss might think, this doesn't exactly look like Burning Abyss, and you'd be correct. At the time of Duelist Alliance release, the TCG exclusives, there were only 4 Burning Abyss cards. There was Seer, there was Graf, there was Skarm, and there was Dante. Now, to be fair, these are arguably the 4 best Burning Abyss cards to be printed, so thankfully they were the first wave of support. So good that people were able to play with this deck even before the other waves of support that were to come in the later core set. So, introducing Burning Abyss. This deck just does it all, and this is going to be a deck you're probably going to see for the next 50 or so episodes. Let's do the card by card. I guess we should start off with the Burning Abyss cards since they are new. So all the Burning Abyss cards have the ability that if you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss monster, destroy this card. This means that if anything else is on the field or the effect of that Burning Abyss is not negated, because that does get as a way to circumvent this, then the monsters will immediately blow themselves up. Now, they also have 2 effects, one of which is that if you control no spell or traps, you can special summon the Burning Abyss monster from your hand. The second effect is that if this card is sent to the graveyard, it will do something. Now, you can only use either effect once per turn, so you have to keep that in mind when you're playing this deck as to how you're going to manage the different effects. So Seer is the first one. Actually, let's start with Skarm. Skarm, when it's sent to the graveyard, adds a level 3 Fiend from your deck to your hand. Level 3 Dark Fiend type monster from your deck to your hand during the end phase. Graf special summons one from the deck, a Burning Abyss monster, not a Dark level 3 Fiend, and Seer allows you to get back a Burning Abyss monster from the graveyard. So again, you're trying to manage these resources as best you can, but these all basically replace themselves, which is exactly what we want to see. We then have Dante, and Dante's sort of the star of the show. Any 2 level 3s make it, so it is generic. Once per turn, you can detach a material and mill either 1, 2, or 3 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Dante gains 500 attack per card, regardless of what gets milled, and if it attacks, it goes to defense position at the end of the battle phase. And when Dante is sent to the grave, you can target a Burning Abyss card in your grave except himself and add it to your hand. So a very powerful card, a lot of cool stuff we can do with it. That's the main crux of the BA. So let's talk about the supporting lineup. So we have Blackluster Soldier and Chaos Sork because this isn't naturally a Chaos deck, but you do have Effect Veiler as a light, and Dante is also a light, which is in engine. So if you don't need Dante anymore, or if you have multiple in the grave, you can banish them for your big finishers like Chaos Sork and BLS and win the game that way. We do have 2 Effect Veiler because, again, ups the light count, and it's also just a good card. Triple Mathematician, a Dragons of Legend special. This on normal summon sends a level 4 lower monster from deck to grave. You're going to see a lot of normal Mathematicians send Skarm, because then during the end phase, Skarm will get us Tour Guide, which is a lot better because this means that we can make a 1-card rank 3 play. Also, Mathematician, when it's killed in battle, draws us a card, so this is just a great card all around. Tour Guide we know and love. What's important here is that Tour Guide negates the effects of whatever it summons, which means that if we have a Graph, a Skarm, or a Seer, that monster won't be destroyed immediately if a non-Burning Abyss monster is on the field. So that can be quite relevant, but primarily we're going to use this, go to Graph for the most part, and then we're going to go into Dante, and that is the starting play you want to go with. Then for the spells, we have Allure of Darkness since our deck is primarily dark, Foolish Burial tutors for any of the BAs, Forbidden Lance is in here just to make sure that our cards don't get hit by things like Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, Karma Cut, or anything that would do anything to Dante other than destroy it and send it to the graveyard. Triple Rank Up Magic Astral Force. This was sort of the innovation at the time for how BA players thought the deck should look prior to receiving more support. This card allows you to take a card like Dante and rank it up 2 ranks into another light warrior, which Constellar Pleiades happens to be. Pleiades is a powerful card, and the fact you're able to access it in a Burning Abyss deck, it sort of makes sense why a lot of people wanted to go in this direction. You also have incidental synergy because since you're already playing Astral Force, you're able to do other things as well, like upgrade Ghost Trick Alucard into Crimson Knight Vampire Bram. You can take Grenosaurus into Volcasaurus, and you can even take something like Mech-Whip Anganir into Tyrus, Keeper of Genesis, really raising the ceiling on what this deck can do. But quickly after this initial wave of Astral Force shenanigans, people shelve that quite quickly, and we start seeing the next iteration of the deck. And speaking of cope, Supply Squad. This was a card, I believe, in a structure deck that once people read this, they thought this was crazy. Like, you read this by old Yu-Gi-Oh! Standards, and this card is nuts. Once per turn, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, draw 1 card. And this pairs extremely well with the Burning Abyss, because they're already replacing themselves, so you get to draw a card in addition to that. Actually just mental. Then for the traps, we have 1 Compulse. One of the things that people loved so much about the Burning Abyss cards was the fact that you could use them in tandem with Phoenix Wing, Wind Blast, and Karma Cut and actually trigger their effects, unlike with the Shaddolls, who have to be sent to the graveyard by a card effect, not for cost. And so this made these cards viable, and we're able to out-large things that were annoying for the deck to deal with. Wind Blast can reset the draw, Karma Cut can banish it, and also banish copies of cards in grave. Then we have Solemn Warning, and of course the best card in the format, Vanity's Emptiness. The side deck has all the aforementioned rank 5s. 2 Dante was standard around this time, but players realize quickly that this card's too good, and they start upping it to 3. Downward Magician's great because you can overlay it on top of a Dante, and what's nice is that it actually protects the Dante from being spun back or like bounced with like Compulse or something. So Downward will go back instead. Dante will fall off as material, and that way you're able to keep it in grave and also trigger its effect. Gaia Dragon's in here for all of the rank 5s. Double Alucard because going after back row is quite good. Grenosaurus is in here because it's actually like okay, but also ranking up into Volcasaurus. Anganir is actually a decent card as well, but again, ranking up into Tyrus. Acid Golem's just the biggest thing this deck can produce that isn't like BLS, and sometimes this comes up with Skill Drain. This card's quite good. And then Zen Mains because it's Zen Mains. Then for the side, double Caius. There were some people experimenting with Burning Abyss Monarchs playing Caius and Ryza, just because since you can special summon the BAs, you can use your normal summon on the Tribute, which is kind of sick. Double DD Crow for the Graveyard base decks. Triple Maxi. Don't know why you wouldn't just main this. Triple MST because post board you're going to have to deal with Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and also it's good for hitting vanities. Double Breakthrough Skills, just more effect negation, and Chain Disappearance was the tech of choice against the Burning Abyss Mirror. So I can't wait to play this one out. This one's going to be a floater fuckfest, that's for sure. But in any case, I mean, we're just going to be moving on quickly after this because there's so much to cover in this format. So ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Well, Joseph, the fun decks of Duelist Alliance continue with 2 new ones. I am playing Burning Abyss, the 3rd of the trilogy of new good decks that were introduced, and you're playing a deck.
I don't understand. I lose 45 episodes in a row, and you go, don't worry, Joseph, I got a great one for you. We'll settle the score. We'll even it up. Why don't you play Yang Zing?
Wait till I get my ass beat and I'm like 3-0'd after this. Because to be fair, like, you read the Yang Zing synchros, they're kind of crap.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Baxi is a hell of a card, as anyone who's ever played against Sword Soul can tell you.
Sword Soul.
But,
yeah.
You know, there are some other cards in here. And we are missing a couple of the cards that would later become mainstays in Yang Zing. Zephyr Nui does not exist yet. Chao
Fang doesn't exist yet.
Chao Fang doesn't exist. So we're going to do our best, but temper your expectations, folks.
We'll see how it goes. Shout out the patron, Ryan Main. Thank you for the support. Buddy, you got the hand up.
I didn't. I'm going to be honest with you. Let me just...
All right.
Let's go.
I rolled odd.
It's even.
Oh, you got it. Congrats.
The good that it will do me. I feel like now I get to be the first one to set a card and pass.
I was about to say, you get to be the first one to open Vanity's Emptiness and win the game.
Oh, that is actually a possibility. So let's just take a quick look at our hand. Ooh, okay. And now...
My hand looks fucking crazy. Oh, my God.
Time to think. So this is like a super duper combo intense deck. It can really pop off ad infinitum. It's actually just impressive just what you can accomplish with 5 given cards in a Yangzing hand. Like take this one for instance. I'm gonna start by setting a card.
Okay.
After that we're gonna set a card.
Okay.
We're gonna follow that up with a set card.
Okay.
And then finally we are going to set a card. We're gonna set a card and pass turn here. So
I see this went well.
I mean, not only
you
know it. I'll just tell you, it didn't go terrible. It's just you need a couple of Yangzings in rotation, and there's only one way to get them there.
You got standby phase? Anything for me?
God, I wish I had like trap dust shoot or something. What do you think I'm gonna do?
That would be nice if that card was
Stygian
gonna go.
Dirge, eat it.
Main phase 1.
Yeah.
All right, my turn is a bit more. Maybe not as linear, actually. All right, well, I suppose I should start with the power play of the deck, which is normal tour guide, activate effect.
That's a nice one.
We'll go ahead and get digging, and we're going to get the first of many here. Let's get Graph Malabranch of the Burning Abyss.
Oh, thank goodness you only have one of these.
Yeah, you wish. We're going to overlay for good old Mr. Dante.
All right, okay, I did draw it. So we'll go time-space trap hole here.
Okay, well, this is actually sort of fine because the nice thing is that it still triggers the graph because the materials go to the graveyard. Isn't that great? Isn't that so awesome the way these cards interact with one another?
Yeah, I really like it.
All right, so we're going to trigger the graph. Off of it, we're going to summon a copy of Skarm. Then we're going to special summon Seer.
Yep.
And we're just going to overlay again here.
Cool.
Deck just not quit. I think we just have to get Dante in rotation, so we'll try to stick him. You got the second time space trap hole?
Do not.
So we'll fire the effect here. I'm going to detach Skarm. I'm going to declare 3 mills.
That's fine.
Actually, I think it mills for cost, but there goes my BLS.
Supply
And no,
squad.
you saw the best card in my deck!
that card is kind of a house during this period.
During this period, it is, which is why I'm going to activate it right now. We'll go to battle. I'm going to hit in with Dante for 25.
Out of your goddamn mind if you think I'm ever going to destroy one of your monsters. All right, it is a Yangzing, but in order to...
Really?
Yeah, I know, shocking.
Shocking.
But I do have the blowout. We're going to activate Creation.
That's a good one.
We are going also to activate Creation.
That's bad.
Yeah, it is. It's
okay, I'm getting
Pulao.
severely punished here for this. Yeah, sure.
So we'll go Pulao 1, Creation 2, Creation 3.
All right, so you get to get a bunch of fucking dudes on the field.
Yes, we do. And which ones they are matters immensely. We will grab, for sure, Swanee.
Okay.
That'll be our Pulao grab. Grab a Chiwen. We'll grab Bion as well.
That makes sense. Okay, so end of battle phase, I'm going to put Dante to defense per its effect.
Yep.
Second main, I'll set 1, throw it to you.
All right, end of main, I am going to, fire the Swanee effect. I think it is most important that it gets attack. I don't think you really care about battle. So we are going to sync away Swanee, the level 3 Bion, and the level 1 Chiwen. Okay. And let's make Baxia, right?
Yeah, pretty good.
All right, so this card's been synchro summoned, so I can target cards on the field up to the number of original attributes of war monsters used for the synchro. That's 3 here, fire, earth, and light. So I'm going to bounce I'm going to put Dante, Supply Squad, and the back row back into the deck.
Okay, and I also forgot that I need to trigger my... well, technically, we haven't left main.
Yeah, no.
yet
Don't worry. We're getting there.
Yeah, okay. So these are all going to go back to the deck. Seer fell off, but I special summoned it this turn, so it actually will not trigger.
That is true. I'm really happy I was able to do this because, oh, man, that's right.
Yes. Double creation, was not expecting that. That's like, 1 creation's fine. Double creation is kind of a nightmare. I'm thinking that if there's anything else I want to do. I do not think there is. I believe I've exhausted every effect of the BAs this turn because there are only 3 of them. So I will proceed to end phase. I will use the effect of my Skarm because I did not fire that one yet. And we will grab ourselves a tour guide for next turn. Go ahead, buddy.
I'll just let you in on a little secret. I don't think there's going to be a next turn, buddy. I'll draw for turn. Stand by main. We're going to go Baxia.
Okay.
Baxia target Suwani. We're going to activate both of our creations and our Chiwen. We're going to grab just big guys. We're just grabbing big guys here. We're going to grab...
Triple Suwani.
I kind of want to. That's what? Just shy of 6K?
It's 5,700. Yeah, so you would just need 23 to clear the gap.
Yeah, unfortunately, that last 23 is a little difficult. We will grab a copy of Pulau. We're going to synchro off Pulau and Chiwen. Grab ourselves a Formular Synchron. Well, that's an interesting one. I'm wondering if I just make a bunch of guys that are larger than Dante. So I'm going to normal summon Masked Chameleon. No effect. This card is awful. We'll go to combat here. We'll go 16, 19, 19.
16 and 38.
And then second main, we are going to sync the Chameleon and the Suwani off for a Stardust. I'm going to set one, and I'm going to pass it back to you.
That's the third fucking creation, buddy. I swear to God. All right, I'll draw. Main one, I do not know how I'm beating double creation. I will be honest with you. I also just love how creation triggers if any monster dies by battle or
It
card.
does not have to be a
Yangzing.
Yangzing, yeah.
This has to be the best Yangzing card they've ever printed.
It is. What you're seeing right now is a game that has been completely taken over by creation, but you're also seeing one of Yangzing's biggest weaknesses, which is Masked Chameleon is the worst card ever printed, but it's so good in the graveyard. If you can get it in grave, it's crazy, but you gotta get it there.
We'll go tour guide.
I also drew skill drain.
Oh, excellent. If this couldn't get any more annoying. I'm so fucking dead. Let's just get out of here. Double fucking creation.
Yeah.
I don't even know if like double creation's beatable in any circumstance. That was just disgusting. Boxia shuffle 3 back. Yuck. At least I get to go first. Maybe this will help a bit. This is like the exact opposite of my first hand, so I'm actually not feeling too bad about it. Normal mathematician.
Yeah.
I'm going to dump Skarm.
Okay.
I'm going to set 1, 2, 3, 4, and proceed to end phase to trigger Scar.
Yeah, you got it.
This is much better than the first game. All right, go ahead.
Well, have you seen this before?
I have, unfortunately. I don't like
back to
this. 4 back row, buddy. Calm down. I'll draw. Stand by anything?
No.
We've got to try. Normal tour guide.
As backwards as this is, I am going to solemn at this position.
I respect this.
This is one of those things where, like, you can't really solemn later, because, like, if you get a seer or a graph, you can overlay for Dante. I can negate the Dante, but the Dante triggers, and the seer triggers, and the graph triggers, and...
Okay, so there's actually a high likelihood I can't even attack over your set, because Pulau, I believe, is 1,800 defense, and Bixi, the water one, which we haven't seen yet, I think is 2,000 defense.
That's true.
So they're actually a bit tanky, but there's 3 that I could hit over, potentially. Let's take a peek. You got anything on attack deck?
Yeah, I got a creation.
Okay, I have an MST.
Well, I have a second creation, so...
Okay, I have Phoenix Wing Wind Blast.
Sure, yes. Okay.
I will target the creation.
Sure. Oh, and now it's gone forever, because this is a Suwani.
Correct.
Okay. We are going to grab Bian.
I will proceed to end phase trigger Scar.
Yep.
I'll grab another tour guide.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Stand by me. Normal Chiwen.
You can make a 4 here, can you?
Oh, yes, I can, buddy.
4 can you make? Fucking like Underworld Fighter Balmung? Is that what's coming? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Sure.
I'm gonna make Armory Arm.
Sure.
Soul Charge.
Vanity's Emptiness.
MST.
Off the top! Fuck you!
Fair.
Oh my god. Fucking Christ. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. Yep. Proceed.
I'll take 3 here. So I get no battle phase this turn.
Thankfully.
However, not a bad setup by any means. Not a bad setup.
Oh yeah, not a bad setup.
Okay. It's okay.
I just soul charged for 3.
Hey, it could have been worse for you. I'm struggling to think of a way, but I'm sure it could have.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Does this summon them in defense mode? No, it doesn't.
No, it's any position.
Why would it? Truly, why would it?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Has to be all worms, does it? Also, that's 9.
I was about to say, that's Chao Feng's not out.
We're doing some strange math here. Okay, let's go 1, 2, 3 for Boxia. Boxia effect.
You synced with 3, so you get to shuffle 3 back.
Up to 3.
Well, I have Karma Cut for the Boxia at least.
Okay.
I'll pitch Seer, get rid of Boxia.
Sure. We'll tuck the math.
Yep, so he'll get shuffled, and then Seer effect, I will resurrect Skarm.
Yep, that was a little less impactful than I wanted. Looks like you're going to be
This is a very simplified game
Dante
state.
here. Okay, I guess I will pass turn here.
Okay, good soul charge. I'll draw.
Yep.
Main one.
Yep.
Normal tour guide. Skarm gets blown up.
Yep.
Let's go for Graph. Let's get off to the races here.
Yep.
Let's make Dante.
Yep.
Armory Arm doesn't have any like relevant effect. No, it
No.
doesn't. Okay. Graph. We'll mill 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Nothing that matters too much. We'll trigger the Graph. We'll get a Seer.
Yep.
Yeah, I popped Skarm from summoning tour guide, so I don't need Skarm this turn. Chi-Wen
Has to be
summons
Yang
itself. Yes, Yangzing specifically. That's what I was worried about. Thank you. I think we'll probably just go to battle here. There's not really much else to do. So we'll go 25 into 18 and then 16 direct.
Okay.
Bit shy from cleaning it up. Second main, that's it. Dante goes to defense. End phase, I'll trigger Skarm. I'm out of tour guides, so Graph is probably the next best one. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, we'll just set one and pass.
Main one. Let's start by milling for Dante.
Yep. Sheesh.
Okay. This is the funniest fucking shit. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm gonna get to do this. I've never done this in my life. Normal Graph. I'm going to overlay for Grenosaurus.
No. Wait.
Now, the problem is, this doesn't clear Bixi exactly. So if you drew that, you're safe. But anything else, you're fucked. I think it's too good not to try it. So I'm going to go to battle. We'll attack. On attack deck, I'm going to DD Crow the Chi-Wen out of your grave.
Okay. It is Suwani. These are both when you cans. Neither of these miss timing, right? That would be ridiculous.
This shouldn't miss timing because I believe... Well, actually, no, they shouldn't. I don't think either one would miss timing.
because
right?
they would have to meet their activation condition in the middle of a chain resolving, and both of these are
right,
on open
exactly.
games.
And they're both activating at the same time.
Would
But
you
you're
like
dead here anyway. So
would you like to activate an effect?
I would like to activate the effect of Grenosaurus if you'll allow me to do so.
Thinking. See, you can beat double creation. It's just that easy.
I just had to have all the cards out of my side deck and draw back row. Yeah, easy.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying. Ooh, I don't know about this one.
Just draw that out.
Duality.
That's not what I meant. Oh, God. Buddy, be cool. You did this last time. Be cool, buddy.
Oh, man. Oh, okay, so I don't have any access to my linear play. I hate this. I have to take Swati. I'm looking at Shadimp like, oh, yes! But no, I have to take Swani here. It could be anything. Let's go 1, 2, back to you.
The fucking back row in this deck. I'll draw. Standby.
All good.
I'll try it. Mathematician.
No response.
We'll dump Skarm. Pro combos back in early Duelist Alliance format here. Battle.
Yes.
Let's try it.
It's Suwani! Let's go grab.
No creation. That's a good check.
I know. Don't remind me. Grab Beyond.
Second main, I've got 2 back row and end phase trigger Skarm.
Yep.
Okay, no Shadow Imp. In addition to all of that, feel pretty good. We'll get the tour guide and it's over to you, buddy.
Stand by me.
Yep.
Battle. Wah.
I'm fine with this. I'll take 100 and draw a card.
Yep.
Mathematician is such a crazy card.
It's a little good.
God. All right, I'll draw. Let's Allure of Darkness.
Sure.
I gotta think now. I think the move here is to banish a Seer. I'm just gonna set one and throw it back.
Interesting. Stand by main. Back to you.
This is boring as my turn, huh? I'll draw. I'm gonna sack Seer for Caius.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so Caius is mandatory, so I think he has to be chain 1, and then Seer is optional. So Caius 1 targeting probably the set in all honesty, and then Seer target Skarm.
I'll DD Crow targeting Skarm here. The set
We hit.
monster, it is Pualo.
Wow. Okay. That's fine. I don't think I really care that much. Let's go in.
I take 8 here. Let's go get Chiwen.
It gives you tuner access, huh? Second main. I'll foolish.
Sure.
I'm gonna dump Skarm.
Yeah.
And then end phase, I'll attempt to trigger Skarm.
That's fine.
We'll get tour guide. Over to you, buddy.
Stand by me.
This is like an actual game.
I'm chilling. I am still chilling.
Normal tour guide.
Sure.
Activate.
I'll maxi here.
Gross. That's fine. I'll get a graph.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go battle. Tour guide into Chiwen.
Sure. Chiwen. We'll grab Pulau.
All right. Caius into Pulau, attack deck DD Crow the Chiwen.
Jeez Louise. You are just gonna cut me off tuners, huh?
That's the idea.
Pulau. Let's grab...
Another Chiwen.
I'm thinking about it. I think I'm actually gonna grab Suwani here.
I think I'm just going to pass. Don't really want to give you another card.
Sure. I'll draw for turn. Stand by me. I'm gonna normal masked Chameleon here.
The summon of Chameleon is fine. Will you be activating the effect?
No, I do have a target. Yeah, let's go for Suwani.
Okay, I have Maxi.
Sure. We'll go Chameleon, Suwani for Baxia. Baxia effect, we're going to target this one.
I'll chain it. It's MST. Let's hit this one.
Sure.
Book, huh?
I'll book
Pretty
the
good against BA.
Caius.
Final answer?
Yeah. Let's switch Suwani to attack. Which got engrave. A lot of really nice guys. Whoa, a lot of really nice guys. Ugh, this is kind of crusty. I could attack the graph. You could cycle through everything and get the Skarm trigger. I prefer that to you just having material, though. You're going to have material anyway. Let's go to battle.
Sure.
I'll go Suwani into the set. We'll go Baxia into TG.
Take 13 from this?
It's
no, I
500
take
more,
an extra
yeah.
5, right? You can put a counter on that just so we remember.
Yeah, good idea. Second main, I'll set 1. Back to you.
Sounds good to me. I'll draw. Stand by. I'm going to try for Mathematician.
That's fine.
I'll dump a Skarm.
Yep.
Let's overlay for the man himself.
He has arrived. Thinking here.
Thinking on attack or defense still. I'll leave him in defense.
Sure.
And then I think I'm just going to set 2 cards and chuck it back your way.
Draw for turn. Stand by main.
Thinking in standby.
Yep.
I think I have to. Standby, I'm going to Wing Blast the Boxia.
Sure.
And then new chain triggers Seer. I'll get Skarm. And you may proceed.
Okay. Soul Charge. We are going to target Masked Chameleon Suni Bian.
Final answer?
Yes.
Okay, I think to avoid getting blown out by MST, I'm gonna warning.
Sure. That's fine. I'm going to set 1 and switch my board to defense. Back to you.
Normal tour guide.
Sure.
Grab graph.
Gotcha.
Let's try Alucard.
Alucard. Wow. That's new. I'm going to have to time space that.
Okay, sounds good to me. As much as I would like to trigger graph, I'm out of summonable targets, unfortunately. I'm going to put Dante to attack. I'm going to go battle. I'm going to hit this one.
It is Bixie.
Okay, so I'll take 1,000. Dante goes to defense. Second main, I'm going to go for Downerd.
Sure.
Set 1 and throw it back.
Stand by me. I'm going to flip Suwani to attack and then pass it back.
I'm also so bad. I just realized I think I did the attacking thing because of Zeus.
You're like, hell yeah, we're gonna Zeus him out of this game.
It just has to be main phase 2. In my mind, I'm thinking I have to actually attack. So if that 1,000 life points matters, I'm gonna look real dumb. All right, that's fine. Shows how modern Yu-Gi-Oh works, I guess. Main 1. I'm gonna go Downerd into the set, and on attack deck, I have Vanities.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's Bixie, so you know that is what
So
it
you'll
is.
take 7.
Yep.
Then after damage calc, I have to detach. So I'll detach Dante, trigger Dante.
Yes.
First time I've done this all game. I will get back the Seer.
Yep.
And then second main, I will just set another card and throw back.
Stand by me. Creation.
Sure.
MST, the new one.
I see. I will chain Karma Cut, pitching Seer.
Targeting.
I will target your Suwani.
Sure.
Vanities gets destroyed in a new chain. I do not get the Seer effect.
Am I willing to take 20, what is this, 25 here?
25.
Let's go Bixie to attack.
Wow, you're gonna go for it. Oh, shit.
Show me the other vanities.
I'm gonna win Blast Creation.
Sure. We'll lose Bixie here. I'll take 23.
25.
Oh my god. And then we'll grab Beyond and attack here.
Downerd battled, so I do have to detach a material here. So I'm going to... I don't think it matters because I don't have any material left.
Oh, we still have a Suwanian deck. I'll get that.
I'll just dump the Mathematician.
We'll go Suwanian.
Crash again, take 4. Sure.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take 4.
And Downerd loses its last material. I will opt not to activate Graph.
And we will grab Bixie. Back to you.
This is face up, is it not?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Dumb question. Can Downerd attack if I have no material?
Yeah, I don't know why I wouldn't be able to.
I'll go for the 100, sure.
I'll take it. Bixie effect.
Yep.
We'll grab Chiwin.
Figured that might be the case. Second main, go ahead.
Stand by me. I was kind of hoping to draw something better there. Back to you.
21 piercing.
Yeah, I do have Compulse, finally. We found it out.
That's pretty good. All right. So she's gone. I have a back row. Go ahead.
Stand by me.
Yep.
Bian.
Yep. 16.
Back to you.
Go ahead.
I'm calling it.
That 1,000 life points is coming up.
It is.
Shit. I'll karma cut the BN. I don't have a choice.
It's pretty rough, dude.
Yeah.
Sure. Second main, I'll set
Your BN engrave is.
back to you. Yeah.
I'll draw. I'll set. Go ahead.
Stand by me. Go ahead.
What a game. Oh my god.
Wow. I have to think about this one. You've still got targets?
I do.
Oh my god, how do you
I have a
possibly
target, I
still have
think.
targets?
Let me... Okay, wait. Let me check.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a graph.
Okay. I will
But I do have
shadow
targets.
here.
No! Why would you do this? Fuck it.
We ride. Oh, vanities on attack deck. Okay, yeah, sure.
Go.
Stand by me.
Yep.
Beyond.
You just fucking drew it!
Attack.
No! Yep.
All right, back to you.
There was a card that does it. The fucking 1,000. I wouldn't be dead if it wasn't for the 1,000. I'm literally dead. I'm dead. Yeah. I'm curious if I would live if I had 1,000 life points, but I will concede.
I will normal solemn war or maxi here to kill you.
That would kill me, yes, because I'd be at 19.
Oh.
Okay. So I had Wind Blast and another Vanities. Show me BLS. That wasn't gonna do it.
If it makes
Show
you
me
feel
BLS.
better, I do have the warning.
You had warning. Okay, there was a Chaos Sword. I had
figuring-
Chaos Sword BLS still
your
in the deck
entire
somewhere.
deck is like gas at this point. It's the last card!
Protagonist powers failed me this
Oh
time
my
at the hands of the fucking Yangzings.
This was
Oh my god.
atrocious. Holy fuck.
That was a hell of a game
That was
3
a-
though.
yeah, that
Holy
was a-
shit.
That was a goof and a gaff. It was a spoof and a laugh. We got to see everyone resolve vanities, I think, this match. So this was a weird one for sure. But I am glad we actually set these two against each other because at least at this point in BA's history and also in Yangzing's, eventually they get Zephyr Nui and the deck completely transforms to be actually good. You know, they get Yazi, they get Xiaofeng. But at this point, there was a pretty easy way to beat both of these decks, which was attack every single monster in their deck until they are dead.
Yep.
And that was kind of the only way to win. These two...
Not necessarily.
Yeah. Of course.
I was not to cut you off. So the thing is, Satellar had Abyss Dweller, right?
Satellar had Abyss Dweller. Shadal had Winda. And, you know, every deck had access to, you know, a Vanities to prevent that from happening. This metagame, the Burning Abyss, Shadal, Satellar, Yangzing, in quotes, metagame, was, I think, the advent of our modern conception of how floating works. You know, we'd seen it just a little bit previously with cards like the TGs, with cards like Reborn Tengu, but now we are getting to the point where you are going to have to cycle through, if you don't have a card that interrupts their game plan, every single card in both of these decks. And good luck, I guess I would say, if you're trying to play a little fairer. I mean, TG was strong enough to win a YCS just on the back of repeated special summonable guys. Guess what happens when you get two decks that are willing to go through every card in the deck during the battle phase? You know, you don't even have to wait till your next turn. It's a powerful defensive move that can put together some really, really strong end boards. We saw in this one, at the point in the game where I'd gone through all my Yangzings, you'd gone through all your Burning Abysses, every single card remaining in the deck was a game winner, right? They were game-winning floodgates like Shadimp and Vanity's Emptiness. They were game-winning draw spells like Yangzing Path. They were sweepers like Darkhold. They were playmakers like Soul Charge. They were powerful bosses like BLS and Chaos Sork. If you got to the late game against one of these decks, geez Louise, I mean, God help you.
This deck also not running Soul Charge, by the way. Just want to point that out. Two of
why
two
would
games.
You? I mean,
or two of two matches. You're playing Soul Charge. I'm not. Clearly, that's the issue here. But it must be a skill issue, clearly. But I'm sort of looking back on this because there's a couple things I could have done differently. I haven't played BA in a while, so I think the biggest issues was that you were keeping me off Dante for the first half of the game, and so it was really hard for me to stick it. And then the problem was, once the Seer Dante loop sort of broke, then that was like what made me run out of gas. Because you really start to see the big flaw of early BA is that there's 3 names, and once they're gone, that's it. There's nothing else you can do. And these are arguably the 3 best ones. Seer gets back from grave, Graf summons from deck, Skarm searches from deck to get you Tour Guide on the next turn. I mean, we had no issue of just cycling through all these cards at rapid speed. The issue was just the fact that there were so many times where I'm thinking, damn, if I just had a Farfa. Damn, if I just had a Calcab to like mess with your back row. Damn, if I just had like Barbar to burn you to death, right?
Like Barbar
we don't get those names to
literally won the game every single time.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get
Easily.
Barbar, BA starts to have a game plan versus decks like this one, which is if you start barbaring on turn 1, you can resolve it 10 times and win, right? You can like maybe resolve it 5 times and Nightmare Shark them to death. But
absolutely.
No, at this point, it is, people think back to BA having 3 Skarm, 3 Seer, 3 Graf, and they go, how did it ever lose? Here's how. Without the utility monsters, you were just summoning assholes. And as long as I keep you off Dante and you keep me off Baxia, we're kind of just looking at each other.
Exactly. And I think one of the big determining points was when I wind blasted the creation, because I had to pitch Chaos Sork, and I was keeping Chaos Sork because the first light I had in my graveyard all game was Dante. And so I was in this weird decision where if I wind blast the creation, then it's going to be this annoying situation where I'm not going to be able to Chaos Sork. And Chaos Sork is a big body. It banishes the Yangzing so they don't trigger. But I figured if I'm going to let you go that far and then you're able to go for like a Baxia play or something, then Baxia triggers on summon and I'm not able to wind blast that in response to interact with it. And then at that point, I probably just lose the game.
It's also like if I was starting the line with Bixie, and if I make the Baxia with Bixie, it's trap immune, and like, what the hell do you do to that, right?
Right, exactly. Which a lot of the removal in the BA deck is through the form of the traps, and so without those, it's a rough time. Also, my deck, because I was playing, I sided out of it, and maybe I shouldn't have, honestly, because maybe that was my demise, but honestly, I felt the deck ran a lot smoother without it. The early stages of BA, they ran Rank Up Magic Astral Force to go into all the cope, like Constellar Pleiades, to go into Crimson Knight, Vampire Bram, Volcasaurus, Tyrus, Keeper of Genesis, and like, that's
4
fine.
targets, my lord.
Yeah. No. There's 2 Pleiades as well.
Oh, good,
so
good.
5 of the cards in my extra deck could have been other utility 3s. Oh, and also, sorry, Gaia Dragon's in here as well. So 6 of my extra deck slots could have been other 3s to potentially help me navigate some of the situations a little bit better here. I'm not sure what the rank 3 pool looked like at this exact juncture, but at the very least, it would have had a third Dante, a second Downward minimum, and then there are some other ones that they start playing later on once they start scrapping the Astro Force stuff, which I don't know, it could have helped for what it's worth, and so maybe it was incorrect to side it out, but I don't know. I felt like the deck ran so much better when I didn't have to worry about possibly drawing that card with no access to like Dante or anything. As good as Pleiades is, I don't know. So maybe that was my mistake in side decking, but I am happy we did this.
Does Volcasaurus cause the Yangzings to miss timing? It's an and if you do, but that's so funny. It would have been funny. No, I am happy we did these, and this is not the last. Like the last time we'll be seeing from either of these decks. Yangzing gets Zephyr Nui when the Zephyr stuff comes out. It's a huge boon of the archetype and makes it the combo-centric Chads that you know today, and BA gets a tuner, a removal spell, monster negation, back row bouncing, an extra deck monster that lays on top of Dante and does everything you ever want. I mean, we're going to see BA for the next, what,
Probably. Maybe we should redo this match with the new support, buddy. That sounds like a fun idea.
Whoa. Hey. I mean, of course I would win it, but let's think logically here. I mean, you wouldn't want to wear the viewers' attention spans out, would you?
That's true. We have to think of the viewers. Always thinking of the viewers. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all of their continued support. So shout outs to Shadow1317, Moto, Tim00x3, Cameron Smith, MBT Play Medolce, Chaotic Meatball, Part 2, Pony Starks, The Synchro Guy, Dan the Man Hoban, I ship MBT and Simo, Draconic Phoenix the Immortal, Jordan Coons, Iron Bladesman, Jesse Wood, Chris Hood, David Liu, Dylan Hunter, Cody Bretz, John Two-Based, Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Serious Business, MBT caught injecting his fairy Lily, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Valen Jackson, Hornet, aren't you glad I didn't say Alpha Tribute Ben 10, TC Gaming, thanks for the sleeve stat, Matthew Brady, Max, Twinkle Muncher, Eater of Crayons, Luabon, Yodabon, Helios 515, Simo's Chaos Cooking Draft, MBT funding the Iris with his Rothschild Wealth, that's his Roth IRA, Simping for Simo, Stolfin Amethyst, Nicholas Carpenter, Simo's Harem of Sexy Yugi Tubers, LGMBTQ, Nim Noodle, Malbranch of the Burning Tunnel, Stella and Zoa Vermilion, Wonder Waffle, James Keen, Skull Servant, and the Wandering Doomed are boyfriends. MBT cancelled by all community soon, canceled by all committee soon, canceled by all players soon. Not reading cards makes the game interesting, and you know it. The MBT and MBT Yu-Gi-Oh! Stands for Morbin Time, The Undertaker versus Simo and MBT, Dalton, Hunter Reed, Shrug, Zyx, The Crystal Beast Enthusiast, ITF, Corvain, Dark Echo, TG Starman, Seamoose Engage, Viso the V, Wacky Waving, Arm Failing Inflatable, 2 men selling crudely painted, not so funny plywood cutout folk art, and hatformat.com. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.